Greetings and welcome to The Void. I'm Anexor, your no bullshit guide to spiritual and emotional enlightenment. And today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, is enlightenment itself. And whether you are an enlightened being or not are three signs that you are already an enlightened being. So before we get into that, I just kind of want to give a little groundwork for what enlightenment is. And if you do a Wikipedia search, you'll actually find that it was like more of a rational, logical movement back in the Renaissance period, which is not really what I would say a lot of people in the spiritual space or, arena would think of when they think of the word enlightenment. When they think of the word enlightenment, they probably see like the Buddha or a yogi or someone, sitting in lotus meditating or something, with the golden sun around their head and all that stuff. So there's a lot of different ideas and a lot of different interpretations of what enlightenment is. But today I'm just going to share with you mine, and you can take it or leave it. So basically, I like to kind of define it as knowing who and what you are and understanding how the universe works, knowing how everything kind of fits together, knowing the fundamentals of creation and existence, and knowing what you are within all of that, and understanding, how all those interactions play together, basically. And it's like you are the light, but knowing that you are the light is enlightenment. So I hope I hope that makes sense. So number one is that you have a sense of connection, a sense of oneness with the universe, with everything around you. Really, you start to feel greater connection to all things, and like a heightened sensitivity to circumstances, places, events. You can kind of read the energy of situations. You can kind of see through everything. If that makes any sense at all, it's like someone tells you, one thing, but you can kind of feel the truth about how they feel. It's like they're like, "Oh, how you doing today?" But, one of the most basic things, if someone asks you how they are, then they say, "Oh, I'm doing all right," and they're shaking their head side to side, their tone goes down, little things like that. But even more than that, you can kind of just feel the truth of any situation at any given time, because you're aware and sensitive to your own energy as well, and you're sensitive to how your energy is interacting with the energy of everything, the collective whole. So you're kind of aware of the feedback between that as well, not just the current state of things, but you're also aware of like how your output is then being received, and then how it's coming back to you, and you kind of feel the world around you. You can kind of feel how you're impacting the entire universe. So that's one sign that you're already enlightened. The second one is signs themselves, like watching this video, or just being more interested in certain topics, like, that you are the light, or becoming interested in learning the laws of the universe, learning about the law of attraction, or, getting interested in, environmentalism, or extraterrestrials, or ascended masters, or, all kinds of things, a greater interest in meditation or spirituality, all these things that are kind of psychologically associated with it, or anything in your personal experience that you associate it with that the average person may or may not, right? Whatever's personal to you, little signs, signals that the universe is sending to you that are kind of becoming more pervasive in your experience recently, that's a good indication that you've already reached a certain state, a certain level of enlightenment. And basically, you don't really need to try to attain this thing that you already have, which is kind of giving me to number 3, which is basically that you are already enlightened. And it's simply knowing that there is this dualistic nature of reality where you can't know something without not having known it at some point, in some way, shape, or form at some time. Of course, there's no absolute nothing. It's just more or less of you. So it's more or less knowing, more or less awareness. And so that's what I mean, like, it's this eternal knowing. You can't really not be enlightened. You are the light itself. You are enlightened, and you're always aware of it to some degree within your being. If you want to say consciously or subconsciously or whatever, but it's the force that beats your heart. It's the force that spins the earth in its orbit perfectly around the sun. You know, it's what shines the sun. You do all these things, right? You do all of these activities. It's what you are. You can't not be enlightened. It's basically kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, a lot of people think that if they sit under a tree or, you know, whatever, they have to do all kinds of different things to become enlightened. But the truth is, it's just really realizing how enlightened you already are. So I hope that was a good short trip to realizing your own enlightenment and knowing that there's really nothing you can do to not be enlightened. Stay blessed, guys.